Okay, looks like we are live now. Namaste, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining. Welcome to the test chat. I am super happy to be back. If you can just comment and let me know if the audio and video is okay, then we can just go ahead. Uh, I can see a few people. All right. Looks like we're on. Okay. So, welcome everyone to this special podcast on the test chat. After a long time, it really feels good to be back here. And what better opening could I have than to have someone who's been a part of the test chat shows for quite some time? Let's warmly welcome Ajay Balamurugadas. He is the head of customer service and strategy at PostQode. He is been a champion tester throughout his career. A teacher and educator himself. He's pioneered weekend testing, and now he's working on a new initiative with testing in the AI space. He's a thought leader. He wears so many hats. It's unbelievable. How do you manage to do that, Ajay? I don't know, but sincerely welcome to the test chat once again.
Thank you so much, Brijesh, and the entire Test Chat community for welcoming me. And yeah, so happy to be back. I think I remember it was way back in September 2022 maybe, when we
Yeah.
had session, or maybe 21. And
Yeah,
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 good
it's
to be
been quite a while. Yeah, it's really been quite a while. So, first question is, how have you been?
good. Yeah, just like with everyone else, AI has become a part of my life. Right? Right, starting with Whisper Flow to dictate and using ChatGPT, Claude, and then of course postcode for all majority of the day and night.
Yeah,
An
yeah,
interesting phase of
yeah.
life. Let me put it that way.
All right, Ajay. So let's straight away get in. But before I get in, I mean, just a note for the audience: if you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll be able to see them, and I'll read them, and Ajay should be able to answer them. So, Ajay, before we get into postcode, you having spent close to 2 decades now in testing, what problem in the modern software delivery do you think is still badly misunderstood?
So maybe two things. One, testing is still thought of as an afterthought. Like, okay, let's focus on everything else and then maybe bring in testing.
Hmm.
That is one of the things. Second, people somehow still equate testing to automation, and then say, okay, how much have you automated? How many test cases have you written? Um, and most of them are not able to either justify, explain all the activities that happen, the ground level, the foundations that are required for example, a delivery of any project, right? So one, they are not able to explain, they are not able to justify, no one is even asking about them. uh, as simple as test design, which we see as a core part of this entire software delivery from the tester's perspective, that is not given so much importance, right? So people somehow still associate testing as okay, automation, which is a sad truth.
Well, I mean, I have also experienced pretty much the same thing what you mentioned. But then now let's talk a little bit about the biggest, or rather the only elephant in the room, AI. How has your encounter with AI been so far?
Many might be surprised by my answer, but I'm actually liking it. All the things that I wanted to do, but could not do, maybe because of time, maybe because of the effort that it needed. Now using AI, I'm able to do a lot more, right? Maybe right from modeling an application, bringing out the connections between different features, digging deep inside code, for example, which I was little hesitant and maybe unaware of. Now I'm able to, ask such kind of questions, get answers to. So many activities which I used to have a team and then get things done. Now I'm working with agents and getting those things done. So I keep making this joke. Before I used to work with people to get things done. Now I'm talking with agents to get things done. So it's a wonderful journey.
Yeah, so we can see people's comments coming in, which is nice. So, if we look at the history of AI, if I may put it that way, AI has been there for some time in different form. Okay, because back in the day, we used to talk about machine learning, in a big way in the, you know, early 2000s or maybe 2010 or something like that, 2015, around that. Then in 2020, the transformer came into existence. We started talking about transformers, and then GPT-3 was born. And then in 2022, the biggest news came in November when ChatGPT was announced by uh, OpenAI. And and interesting things happened after that. My Facebook feed and Instagram feed changed completely, and it started saying 5 new tools with AI, and 10 new tools to do this. And so people started taking the use cases and started experimenting. People started building their own GPTs. That was possible. Then they prompted, and writing became much easier. And we have grown over the years. We have seen the evolution of RAG. From there, we have seen the evolution of agentic AI, and now AI agents are almost everywhere.
Right.
So the session title, I from on purpose I kept it as from prompt to production. Now I want to know from you, what does that phrase actually mean to you? Simply beyond simply generating code or test cases from prompts.
Yeah. So even before going to that question, right, as in what using AI we can do other than maybe generating code and writing test cases.
Mhm.
In testing, what are all the activities that we do, which many people unfortunately are not able to state, not able to explain. For example, right from understanding the requirement documents, analyzing them, then creating your own mental models, then interacting with the application, figuring out your test ideas, test design, test data, scenario creation. Then you have your maybe automation script generation. Then there are customer bugs that you analyze. Then there is DevOps stuff coming in, right from deployment to observability, monitoring, all these, this entire chain, right?
Yeah.
So my question to most of the people is, why are we still focusing on only test case generation, test data
True.
generation, automation
True.
script generation, and maybe analyzing the automation scripts? There are so many other activities. With AI, we can do that. Now the question is, can we do it 100%? I will be the first person to say no. Okay,
Yeah.
we cannot do it 100%. But can we take it till 60%, 70%? Yes. And if you're not able to do that, yeah, let's talk. I can give you examples. I can show you live implementation across customers and other places where we have worked, where the key question to ask is, what are we doing? How can AI assist us in this particular activity? When we ask that question, then it is not that what can I do, what can I do with AI. It's what am I first doing, then how can I use AI in that, right? You're not going with Gen AI as the first thing. You first figure out what are the activities that you're doing. Can you even list it out, right? That itself solves most of the problems that people are facing with AI, because now they're going with, oh, we have to use AI. For what?
Right.
What problem are you even solving, right? Does it even need AI? Without
Right.
answering that, they're going, oh, I have to implement AI, right? So that's the wrong approach. Then you will, of course, face difficulties. And from prompt to production, as I mentioned, maybe now it's not, okay, create a plan or let's write a plan to build an application. It's a prompt. Developers have embraced AI like anything. So they are writing prompts. So that's the first step, right? Or even product owners are using AI. So from there to getting your application in production deployed and getting the feedback from production, so that is the phrase, prompt to production. All the activities now can be done using AI, of course, with a skilled human overlooking it.
Yeah. You mentioned something really interesting about companies expecting people to use AI. Now, one of the things or one of the statements that is used to market any AI tool is a productivity gain or speed. You can do things really fast, and probably that is something that is uh, setting the trend, and everybody is jumping into the bandwagon saying, hey, those guys are doing faster things faster with AI, why can't we do it, without even actually looking at their context, without even looking at the feasibility. Okay, just because it works for somebody does not mean that it will work for you too. I
It's the
mean,
same
the
thing with
same
like how Amazon came
automation,
up with like multiple
microserve.
deployments in a day, and everyone
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, okay, we have to, right? So
Right, right. I mean, we have seen the same cycle with automation tools. And I'm talking about testing. I mean, and then we saw this with Agile. I mean, if Agile has worked for somebody, it doesn't mean that it'll work for you too. Same thing with DevOps. I mean, this is a pattern that the industry follows. And what happens is a lot of your investment is getting pushed in that direction. So when the investors talk about it, there is obvious pressure that builds. And then obviously there is something called as an airline magazine effect, where some a CEO traveling in an airline looks at a magazine and sees something jazzy and wants to have it in his company the next day. So that effect has always been there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. Now, I want to bring a discussion to the subject of the day, postcode. First of all, what is postcode and what problems does it solve?
right. So PostQode is an agentic AI platform with specialized testing agents like a API agent, web agent, mobile agent, and it helps in the entire software engineering lifecycle, right from your coding to your all your testing activities to DevOps activities. This platform can help you, right? And the problem that people have right now is, one is fragmented tool chain, right? They have multiple tools for different activities, and then the biggest other problem I feel is context is not shared across stakeholders. What happens between product owner and designer, product owner and developer versus product owner and tester is way different. The context is not shared across. So postcode helps solve that problem. Use the context across sources, across stakeholders, get the holistic context, and use that holistic context to make testing as bring testing as early as possible in the life cycle, right? So it is no longer an afterthought, but you are getting contextual testing right from you can even test your design wireframes, you can test your requirement documents, right? You can test your code, you can get your unit tests written, then you can get your good contextual testing specific test ideas for your application, right? And then the relevant test data, not like a generic random test data generator, but contextual test data, right? So bringing context, ensuring holistic context, and then bringing testing as early as possible in the entire life cycle, SDLC life cycle, is the problem that testing postcode is trying to solve.
So, just as a follow up to that question, many teams already use the likes of ChatGPT, Claude, Copilot, Cursor, or other AI assistants, if I may call it, if I may call these tools AI assistants. Why would they need something like postcode? I want to understand this.
Right. So, multiple points. One, many of these tools lock you in with specific models, right? And then when you use the same model for all kinds of tasks, you are burning tokens. Your cost versus value takes a hit. Point one. Second,
Mhm.
some of them have to lock in, right? Some of them are on the cloud, right? Those are things. And the main part with postcode is postcode has specialized testing agents. You have your entire API lifecycle covered within postcode. You can
Mhm.
launch web browser, get a hold of all the locators, figure out learn your application, the business rules, the constraints, and then generate test cases, test data, probable bugs or the actual bugs also, accessibility issues, automation scripts, all of that. Same you can do with mobile apps also. Now, very few tools do API and mobile, right? So we are
Right.
available as a extension on VS Code, Cursor. So in fact, if you're using tools like Cursor, use it for development and use tools like postcode for your testing. So that way, though postcode can do development tasks also, but if you're comfortable with Cursor, continue for that. But Cursor cannot do specialized testing, but postcode can help you with that.
So, you mean uh, so let me just flip the question a bit and say, so suppose if I'm doing some development with Cursor, okay, I built my entire context window, and I'm using prompt engineering to try and get the best output, and I build say a landing page or maybe a website or an app using Cursor.
Mhm.
So at some point I realized that okay, it's burning tokens, expensive, and I want to switch to something like postcode. So can postcode help me continue the thing? Will it capture the context and continue the things for me? And as you said, help me with the testing with the specialized agents.
See, we are in your machine, right? In your
Okay.
editor. So we anyways have the context there. So it is just a matter of start using postcode, that switch. So you need not
Okay.
worry about, oh, I need to get everything, I need to import, or I need to have in a certain format. No, we are one of the few editors who can access all your testing assets as well as have multi-repo and have access to your file system. So we are local to your machine. We generate assets in your format, in your existing framework and formats, in a Git native format. So most of the questions are answered.
Yeah. No, and you've answered a question that came on the test check Telegram group yesterday. Somebody was asking, is it on-prem on the system, and can I do code development, and or is it just restricted to testing? I think you have answered that question as well.
Yeah,
Um,
so we do all of the activities. We can connect to 40 plus LLM providers, 300 plus models. If you have your own in-house model, then we can connect to that as well, right? So it can become a fully on-prem kind of a deployment for you, and nothing comes to postcode, right? So not even telemetry you can switch off. So everything is local to your machine. So security is taken care. The big problem that people come up with is, I already have some assets. I've already automated few cases. Then how can postcode help? We are saying don't even do any rework. Give us that repo. We will learn your framework, generate the next asset as per your current existing framework. So, and there's no tool lock-in. So you decide to leave postcode. Whatever you create from day one is yours, right? So,
Okay. Well, that is good. And in fact, I was going to talk about security next, but you have once again answered that question. Because a lot of times people's challenge is that, okay, it is looking at my entire, uh, you know, code repository,
file system.
my entire file system. It is looking at my entire machine. How safe is my data? But I think you've answered that. But if you want to share some more details around it, please go ahead and
Yeah, so one of the questions is it just postcode agent configuration working with local LLMs? We can work with local LLMs
yeah,
also. We can work with OpenAI, Anthropic,
yeah,
Gemini, XAI, whichever model you bring in, right? So
yeah,
see, your org has already worked out with the LLM provider in terms of data privacy. So
right,
we are just extending that.
right. Okay, yeah. So and thank you, Arun, for that question. And it's once again a reminder for the rest of the audience to keep putting in their questions. There's another one from Arun as a follow-up.
You
Can I
can't
fine tune
fine
the
tune the models, but you can, of course, fine tune the outputs. We take user input as also one of the parameters to fine tune the output. The agents are anyways testing specific and fine tuned to give testing specific output. So you can fine tune the output, but maybe you can't fine tune the model using postcode.
so what are some of the core capabilities of postcode that users should understand first before they get down and dirty with postcode?
See, with any software engineering process, first thing you need is access to multiple systems. That we support 50 plus MCP servers, right? From your Jira, ADO, GitHub, Confluence, right? And any Datadog servers, all of that we connect to. We can pull and push data. Now that you have the data, using our context engineering, we are able to hold the context, pass on to different agents within postcode. Like we have the core agent for your development tasks, including writing new code, application modernization, refactoring code, unit testing. Then we have testing specific agents like web testing agent, API testing agent, mobile testing agent. And the best part is you can build your own custom agent within postcode, right? So with that, we also have capabilities for rules, workflows, and skills, which help you standardize the output across engineers, even though everyone is using LLMs, right? And what worries management is, oh, with all of this, I would burn a lot of tokens. I would not be able
Yeah.
to predict my AI cost. We give you a management console where you can set budget for each member. You can even decide which models cannot be used by certain members, which models are reserved for architects, for example. You have that management layer also. So MCP connections, MCP server connections, you have rules, you have testing specific agents, and all of this in the same platform just by switching agent like a drop down value. So you don't have to leave the platform. You can perform right from development to all the tasks using one platform. In fact, one of our clients, they were using Cursor for development. Testing was left behind because they couldn't catch up to the speed of the development. That's when they approached us. And after seeing postcode in action, you won't believe, but it's true, they left out Cursor, and everyone, including like system architects, the PMOs, the BAs, the developers, the QAs, and the DevOps engineers, everyone is using postcode, right? One single platform, sharing of the context. And that is such a brilliant usage of postcode, I would say, because they really understood what postcode is and how it can help in the entire life cycle, and not just the isolated weekend experiments that people do. Like, okay, I built a agent to generate test cases from a requirement document, or I created an agent to automate a particular test case. That makes for good Monday LinkedIn posts, but in enterprises you need things that are standardized, that work across the org, save money, right, and gives you the best ROI, right? Business doesn't care about your weekend hackathons, right? And postcode is
Correct.
built for that.
Correct. And so essentially, what you're saying is a postcode can sit throughout my workflow. It doesn't have
Correct.
to sit in a particular part of the workflow. Now, there is a very interesting question from Vaishnavi, and she's asking what happens after the agreement duration? Will the client still be able to use the agents that are deployed?
See, the agents are within postcode. These will help you generate the assets. It could be your test plan, test strategy document, test cases, test data, automation scripts, or DevOps scripts, right? It is yours. The scripts are yours, but you won't get access to the agents. It is, think of it as a platform, right? If you uninstall Xmind, do I get access to the mind maps? Yes. But can I create more? No. Same way,
No.
you will have access to the output that you generated using postcode. We don't lock you in saying, oh, now you're not using postcode, so you cannot. No, we don't lock you in. You can continue to use the assets from day one, but you'll not be able to create more at the pace at which postcode can help you generate.
Right. And there is another question from her. She's asking, Vaishnavi is asking, what skills are required for the human to use postcode?
You should know what you want to get done. If you know that, then postcode can help you. It is a part of the the extension like VS Code. It is an extension on VS Code, Cursor, Windsurf. First time, maybe if you have not used any AI editors, it will take you maybe half a day to get used to. But most of the tools now are like in a chat interface where you prompt and then you get a reply, right? Similar way, there is a chat interface in postcode. Brijesh, if it's okay, I can maybe show a quick glimpse of how postcode looks, and
Yeah. Definitely, definitely.
so that way people
Yes, yes, yes. That'll be awesome. Yes.
yeah. So this is how postcode looks once you have installed from the extensions. It will come and sit here. And these are the three sections: the Explorer, Editor, and then the chat. And these are the different agents that we have for your development and unit testing. API agent will give you the entire life cycle of API testing. Web agent, it will launch a web application, perform actions, and then you can ask any questions like test data, test cases, or automation scripts. Similarly for mobile agent. And the best part is you can even create your custom agents like this, right? And you have more than 40 plus LLM providers that are supported. Now, based on the provider that you select, you can select different models, and we show you different details about the specific models that you have selected, the cost. So, this is also one key factor, right? We are very transparent in terms of the cost. So, for example, here we'll show you the cost, the token consumption, we cache. That way, we help you do lot of things in the same workflow. We also have memory in place, so it kind of remembers what all you do, right? So that you don't have to repeat. It knows. It acts as a smart assistant, right? And it can launch application. It can perform all of these, right? So, and as I told, it can learn your existing framework and generate scripts as per that existing framework, right? So
Yes.
all of these
Excellent.
are some of the key things, and all of these are local to your machine, right? So for example, this, if I show you here, I'm not committed, but this is in your machine right here. Columns, yeah. right? So yeah, there you go. So that
Okay.
way, most of the things that people worry about, you can get rid of. Like, hey, what happens to my data? What happens after I create? Can I use the same thing for different activities? We help you with generation of all of these. API will help you execute. Web and mobile, what we say is use the scripts. Don't use AI to execute. It's costly. Execute in your CI/CD pipelines.
Yeah. So there is an interesting question from Arun again, and Arun is asking, can we say postcode is a wrapper on a vibe code orchestrator, which is designed for agentic development and has multiple dev, QA, and DevOps agents to help end users? It uses any LLM model on client side? I mean, I'm assuming he's asking.
So it's definitely not a wrapper. It's a full-on agentic AI platform. It has your it has a multi-agent orchestrator. It has
Yeah.
rules. It has the RAG, right? It can connect with any knowledge graph as well. So it is an agentic AI platform. Let's
Okay.
not um, bring it down by saying is it a wrapper. It's not. It's definitely not. It's way more powerful. It's a full blown agentic AI platform for your entire cycle. And in terms of models, as I showed, it can connect with any model of your choice. See, the best part is in a specific task, even if you switch models in between, you don't have to do anything. Postcode handles the passing the context of whatever you have done so far to the next
Right, right.
model and also to the next agent if you switch agents in between also. So
So
there's
basically,
a lot
context
of
switching is happening.
correct. Lot of context engineering has happened here,
Happen.
which
Yeah.
ensures that within the same context window, you can do a lot more, right?
Right.
And maintain that holistic context from different sources, right? So those specialities make it a production enterprise ready agentic AI platform.
Okay. Here is a question from Sahil, and he's asking, postcode does postcode come with a user license and tokens will be used for LLM one is using, or there are any tokens needed for using agents too?
So second part of question is slightly confusing, but I'll tell you about the licensing part. Postcode license is per user per month. It's a seat-based license subscription model, and LLM is yours. We connect to your LLM subscription, so LLM is yours. If you don't have an LLM, we can also give you. We can act as a LLM aggregator and give you access to all the LLMs, and we'll charge you for the LLMs also. If you have your own LLM, we charge you only for the postcode license. If you don't have, then we can give you postcode license plus the LLM like cost. So bundled as one, we can give you.
Okay. And here is a question
Yeah, so there is no
from
custom
Arun.
billing. Whatever you are using is the same. In fact, we will cost you little less for the testing specific activities because the way in which we send, like in short, how we engineer the context, that is unique to us, and there we save you tokens. As I showed you, there is memory also, which also helps reduce the tokens. And one other key thing is, let me quickly share screen and show you one feature which you might like and will be very key differentiator also. Say for example, yeah, I gave this prompt like open a browser, perform this action and confirm if the order is placed, right? And it performed all of that. Okay. Once it performed all of that, order successfully placed. Then I said generate automation script in Java Selenium as per the current framework, right? It did all of that and then it went ahead and generated as well, right? It generated and it executed also and it started to fail the script, right?
Mm,
Then
mm,
I
mm.
said fix it. It automatically starts fixing it, right? It cost me around $3.3. So when I select web agent, you see this small thing called recorder, and
Yeah.
that is where I did the same task. So 3.3 is here, and I did the same task, but slightly different. I just said launch this browser, and then I recorded it. Right? I recorded all of this using this recorder. Right? Say for
Mm-hmm.
example, gate 2, and I give a browser, right? I mean a URL, and then I record. I gave all of these steps. Right? Then I said create automation script for the above flow. It did that. It failed at one place. This time I asked it for playwright. Last time was Java Selenium. This time I asked it
Yeah.
for
Right.
playwright. It failed at one place. What I did was I recorded that specific step again. Okay. And I gave the request again saying, uh, just a second, I'm just searching for that specific step. Yeah, task completed, playwright is done, it failed. Then I recorded that specific step, right? First it was 15 and then it was 18, recorded the buy button step, re-recorded the buy button step, right? And then
Yeah.
it worked fine. Everything was passing. Okay. Cost is 134 compared to the
Okay.
331. So what people are
So
right now doing is prompting and asking the agent to crawl, figure out things, and then come back and generate script. I'm not sure if any other tool has this, where you can record the browser interaction, you can inspect a specific element, add to the AI. So a mix of human plus AI, right? Which is bringing both cost as well as the efficiency in terms of the
yeah.
accuracy of the scripts.
So here's a very good question from Vaishnavi again. Is there any agent specific cost involved, or is it just the thing that you
No,
showed that
one cost,
during the
one
workflow?
license, one postcode license, you get agent, web agent, mobile agent, API agent, and the custom
Okay.
agents also, which you can build. So there's no agent specific cost.
Okay. Okay.
See,
So is it time?
many tools focus like, okay, pay us for every generation, pay us for every time you execute, right? We believe that
Yeah.
the purpose of generating so many tests is you want to execute it again and again, right? So we don't
Okay.
charge you on execution. We even don't even recommend you to use AI for execution. And first time learning the application, we'll use tokens. Once you have generated the automation scripts, why do you need again AI, right? And with what I showed just now, the recorder,
Yes.
uh, from 3.34, you came down to 1.34 on a very simple
Correct.
application. Now, in complex,
Correct.
it will be like half, right?
Yeah.
And you would save a lot of time and cost and effort.
Right. 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 Oh, this seems quite interesting. I have uh, another question. So let me go to the testing side of it, and let me ask you this. Okay, we saw its capabilities of how it can build, and so if I'm a tester, can postcode in a way help me think better as a tester? If yes, how?
Yeah. See, to think better, you need time.
Mm-hmm.
Postcode will help you save time. Postcode will help you
Mm-hmm.
give ideas on, hey, can you connect all of these sources? Find gaps between these sources, for example. You
Yeah.
always wanted to do as a tester. You always
Correct.
wanted to say, are there gaps between what the product owner designed the user story in compared to a Figma designer designing the design? Are there gaps between
Correct.
these two? Very
Yeah.
difficult to find, especially with versioning, with multiple versions being updated every 2 3 days, right? Now with
Yeah.
postcode, you can pull in all of this data using MCPs. You ask these
Mm-hmm.
questions. Now you are getting, in fact, more ideas, right? You can think of, oh, if a product owner brings this change, what are all the assets that will get affected?
Mm.
Show it to me. Why are they getting affected? What is the relationship between these assets? So it's very simple. If you are able to think before, you'll be able to think better with postcode, if you are not able to think before also, then it's what goes in, what goes out, right? So
Right. No, that's one of the things that a lot of times testers miss, that these tools, they're good, then they help you save time. You can use that saved time for doing a lot of other testing
mm,
activities, and I find this really useful. So as we move towards production, okay, so pre-prod is one thing. As we move towards production, we may we will of course set up something for monitoring. We will set up a observability tool. So does postcode have any capabilities that can help me with monitoring or with observability? I mean, can I have such agents created, or
yes, you can create the
is that
agent.
possible?
Sorry, it can also connect to your systems that are performing these tasks, get the
Mhm.
feed, analyze, and help you make decisions.
Okay.
See, again, this is not autonomous. It will not make decisions. You will
Right.
always be in control. Postcode will always ask for your permission for every task. You are in control. You can approve or reject. As you get confident of the results, as you get happy with the results, you can auto approve certain things, right? So that way it can of course help you with all the tasks post production as well, post deployment.
Right. And you made a very important statement there, that it will let the user be in control of the decision, because the moment you hand over judgment to the
Hmm.
machine, it's going to be disastrous. So, when we say autonomous cars and all that, you let the car do everything. Maybe it is working. People will say, hey, what? Waymo has already implemented it. We can see driverless cars. And yeah, that's very much possible. But when we are talking about, safety critical systems, okay, you can't hand over the judgment or the decision making to a machine.
Hmm.
So it's very important to stay in control, and I'm glad to hear that postcode actually asks for approval, that should I go ahead and do it, or
Yeah, so it's very interesting when people see this. They are like, oh, you have this feature as well, right? So go here and say, for example, these are all the rules workflow skills that you can add in, but these are all the places where it'll ask you for approval. You can
right,
toggle all of them as off or all of them as on, and then you can decide at what request it should stop, what request it should ask for your permission, right? So there are a lot of good engineering practices built in inside a platform.
right. So from a so you had the the customer success at postcode. So from a customer success perspective, what is the right first use case for a team trying postcode for the first time?
They should use a pen and paper, write down what do they do, how much time does it take, and why should it change. Once they are able to list it out, then it is very easy for me and my team members to jump in and say, okay, this we can do it using this particular rule, or this can be converted to a workflow, or this agent can help you to do it, this task. Oh, by the way, you're not doing this. Would you like to do this? Right. So we'll be able to suggest improvements also. But that is the first thing that we encourage people to do. List out everything that you do. How do you do? How much time does it take? And what do you want to change? And why do you want to change? Um, we do a first 2 3 days of discovery, or sit with them and say, walk us through what you do. And uh, they say, oh, we analyze the requirement document. I ask, okay, show me an example of how do you analyze a requirement. First of all, tell me, how do you get the requirement document? What is your output after your analysis, right? Once we understand that flow, it is very easy to use postcode or any other tool for that matter,
Right,
and
right,
then
right.
get success to the customer, rather than take the tool first and jump in without knowing what the problem is.
Okay, so uh, let's say I, as a tester, want to experiment with postcode.
Hmm.
Okay, whether it makes sense in my context or my situation. Do you also provide some trial licenses, maybe?
Yes, yes. We give
Yes.
you a free trial for 7 days to 15 days, again, based on the context. And
Nice.
if you're out of job, we extend that to a month, right? And we work with you to help you use it much better for your context. Again, the questions are same. We'll ask you, what do you do, why do you do, how do you do, and then we'll guide you. Oh, maybe you can try this, maybe you can try that. If you're already well versed with any AI editor, you will find this as way more powerful and easy to switch out. So we do give
So,
trial.
yeah, because the reason why I asked you this question is, uh, you know, students like to try stuff these days. So, do you have
Right.
anything for students where, they could experiment with it and
Yeah,
use
for
it or
students,
learn it?
we would love to give it for free. Yeah, I'm not consulted by management, but yeah, we would love to give it for free for an extended duration for the students, if they work on it, if they produce something out of it, or else we'll
Yeah,
just take licenses, right? Because
yeah, no, but, no. Since we are talking, I know when we were planning this, we had a chat, and there are a few other people also joining. So let me make a short announcement that Ajay and I already spoke about a hackathon using using postcode. So we can obviously call it "So You Think You Can Hack" because that's been our tradition. We hosted the "So You Think You Can Dance," sorry, test. So we will say "So You Think You Can Hack." Okay, and we'll use it, and we will invite everybody. I mean, it can be people who are working in different companies. It can also be students who can participate.
yeah,
So
anyone
that's the reason.
who can build, who can
Anyone,
test,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, let's build an application, test it. Let's complete the entire journey over a weekend maybe and see, show your
yeah,
expertise, right? Mm.
yeah. So something like that. We are still building the framework of how this whole event will take place, but we'll announce something soon. So this was more of a spoiler from my side. I don't know how my co-enablers will react to this, but I'm assuming they'll be happy. But then yeah, this is something that's brewing behind the scenes. So is there any other question that we have from the audience? This is something from the person we know,
Wonderful.
the one and only Salesforce testing guy. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, buddy.
you should have a look at his channel also. We are coming
Yes,
with something specific for Salesforce also. And
Salesforce.
one of the other thing is, we have tried out postcode with enterprises, SAP, insurance, mortgage, retail. So this is well truly tried and tested out
Yes.
product ready for enterprise, t- tested by testers. So you can be assured of the quality of the work it can generate.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would encourage people here to give postcode a shot. Okay, go and try because based on what Ajay explained and showed us, I think it is a really wonderful tool. I feel that it is going to solve a lot of your problems, if not all of them. I mean, I don't think there is any tool which can solve all your problems, but then this will solve a lot of your problems. And try experimenting with it. maybe you can find something that uh, struggling with and postcode is not able to solve. Maybe you can get in touch with Ajay. Maybe it can be a new feature for you, Ajay. So that way, so give it a shot. Okay, and obviously, don't hesitate to ask questions about it. If you are a part of the test chat Telegram group, you can put your question there. You can reach out to Ajay directly. I will, in the description of this YouTube video, include Ajay's credentials so that you can reach out to him. Otherwise, Ajay is available on LinkedIn. And I must tell you this about Ajay, that he's extremely approachable. It's so easy to reach out to him. He is always ready to answer, ready to share his knowledge. So, yeah, feel free to use it. Ajay, anything else you would like to add?
Everyone is supposed to use AI, and everyone is trying to save time to learn about AI. But if you
Yeah.
use postcode, you will learn AI on the job. You will learn how MCP works. You will learn what is context window, what is context, what are agents, how do agents hand over information to the other agents, what is an orchestrator. Everything you will get to know. I myself did not know so much, which is again less in the AI space, but just by working here, I'm able to talk this much about AI. So this is a wonderful time, especially for testers, because people are vibe coding. People are relying on AI for doing all fancy stuff, right? The exceptions are, of course, doing it right. The ones who did it right without AI are doing it right with AI also. But now we have a new category of maybe white coders who maybe don't know how to, but hey, I built in an application, right? So now we need testers the most, and testers with AI, you'll become even more powerful. You'll become even more skilled. Um, you will be able to achieve the goals of in sprint automation that you have been chasing so far. You will be able to do all the tasks like maybe impact analysis, um, identifying gaps between assets, tying up the context between stakeholders. So you'll be able to do all of those if you learn how to use AI. And Postcode is giving a good platform for you to try it out. And I'm available, as Brijesh told. Just ping me and we'll set it up. We'll work with you to make you enabled, right? Powerful enough to use AI.
Well, the thing that came into my mind is one-stop solution for one-stop shop for all your AI needs. Maybe you can use it as a tagline. Ajay. So, yeah, Vaishnavi had a comment which I just showed. Yeah, it is once again. Interesting one. Thank you for presenting. Thank
Thank you.
you, Vaishnavi, for the for participating, for asking questions. Uh, and On that note, I want to thank each and every one who attended this live session on LinkedIn and on YouTube. It will obviously be there on the LinkedIn page of the test chat and the YouTube channel of test chat, so you can watch it later also, and you can share it with your colleagues. And like I said, feel free to reach out to Ajay or to me, and we can help you with your AI journey. And thank you so much, Ajay, for
Sure.
taking the time out and doing this. This was brilliant. The tool is brilliant. I mean, I like what I see, and I would like to get my hands dirty. So
Definitely.
I will myself reach out to you and try and see how I can play around with it. Okay, maybe I can try and build something. Now these days I've started building with AI, doing a lot of vibe coding myself. So and have experimented with AI. First, I fed it my own code and said, okay, do a code review. Then I said, okay, let's take it to the next step and start
Mm.
vibe coding. And I'm having fun. So postcode also looks like a good candidate for adding to my fun closet. So, so yeah, I will myself reach out to you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
everyone.
Thank you so much, Brijesh, and thank you, the test chat. And yeah, it's wonderful. As a closing note, maybe testers, the best time to be a tester is now. And uh, yeah, please extend beyond test case, test data, automation script generation. There is a much richer world in testing. This is a good time to explore with the help of AI. I'm not saying AI does not have limitations, but you with your skills can tame the AI to do what you want and be more productive and keep all the stakeholders happy, which is the real dream of any tester, right? So
Yes,
thank you so
absolutely.
much. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Bye bye.